This is a recommended story for people who are working hard but still feel unrewarded, wondering what they are striving for even though they are living earnestly. At such times, it's a good idea to hit the brakes once and check if the direction you are currently heading in is truly the path you want to take. Maybe you're running diligently on a race course someone else created, like the competition to become the richest, to climb the corporate ladder, or to get married by the age of 30. As Gates said, life is about direction, not speed. You might be racing full speed ahead on a course set by others, too busy to even think if it's the right one. First and foremost, effort doesn't always guarantee a reward. It's obvious, but just because you put in effort doesn't mean you'll be rewarded. Effort can easily let us down. Conversely, some people who don't work hard are rewarded. Whether you work your hardest or not, it doesn't necessarily guarantee a return, nor does it mean you won't receive one if you don't give it your all. What I want to say is not to avoid making an effort, but to understand that effort doesn't always guarantee a reward. Not everything is achievable through hard work, so live without overexerting yourself. It's okay to work even when you lack motivation. Often, you come across questions like, how can I get motivated for work? This dilemma is a bit strange. Motivation is like affection. Asking how to become motivated for work is like asking how to make yourself love someone you don't actually like. No matter how much effort you put in, if you don't like something, you won't. Motivation is something you create for yourself, not something that's given to you by someone else. Most people work to earn money. So, even if you lack motivation and don't particularly like your job, it's fine. If you lack motivation, just do your job steadily. If you continue, you might eventually develop an interest, or you might not. You might discover another job that excites your motivation. In that case, you can pour your motivation into it. Live true to yourself and disregard societal norms. In this world, there's a prevailing notion that one should conform to age-appropriate standards. For instance, there's an expectation to get married by 30, climb the career ladder, have children, pursue dreams, drive a manual car if you're a man, or focus on child rearing if you're a woman. The more you strive to meet these expectations and seek validation from others, the more challenging it becomes. During such times, I encourage you to stop worrying about what others think and start living according to your own values. Do you genuinely want to get married? Do you truly desire that manual car? What really matters is not having everything by a certain age, but rather living without your unique principles and direction. It's worth reconsidering your approach to life. Remember, never compare yourself to others. Don't compare yourself to others. The quickest and easiest way to become unhappy is to compare yourself to others. We need to be careful not to compare ourselves to others. In this light, it might seem that humans spend more time seeking unhappiness rather than happiness. We usually compare ourselves to those who are similar to us. For example, no matter how much money Bill Gates or Elon Musk earns, we don't envy them or even think of comparing ourselves to them. We tend to compare ourselves to those we perceive as being on the same level as us. When a classmate we thought was foolish does well in their grades, or when a friend walks alongside a beautiful woman, we become envious. In other words, humans tend to compete or feel superior when comparing themselves to others at a similar level. Bill Gates and Elon Musk probably think, what's the big deal about these people? So, avoid making comparisons. Don't expect too much. When you expect too much in life, you'll inevitably be disappointed. Expectations and disappointments go hand in hand. Even with the same movie, those who have high expectations are disappointed, while those who had no expectations find it enjoyable. Disappointment stems from having expectations. If you don't expect too much, you can still enjoy things to some extent. Lowering your expectations can turn each day into a series of small, lucky events. Conversely, the more you expect, the less enjoyable life becomes. Let go of the attachment to thinking there are no other options. When you believe there are no other choices, a tragedy begins the moment you think that losing your job means it's all over, or missing out on a particular person means you can't get married. Humans despair when they think there are no other options. When you feel yourself getting attached, simply raise your head a little and look around, and you'll realize that there are various other choices. This way, you can live with ease. Regrets for things not done will linger. Everyone has things they wanted to do but didn't. In this world, most people only dream and do nothing. If you just dream and take no action, you can avoid experiencing any pain. However, after a few years, you'll start to feel a pain in your heart when you wonder what would have happened if you had pursued those dreams. It's the dreams you easily let go of and the loves you couldn't express that you'll regret. We should dare to take more actions, even if we fail. Acting in accordance with your heart means that, at the very least, you won't blame someone else. It's better to try and face rejection than to give up without trying. Even if your dreams and love don't come true, those actions hold meaning. Acknowledging your flaws can boost your self-esteem. The main reason self-esteem drops is because we evaluate ourselves as tasks. We think, "I'm actually much better," and the gap between our ideals and reality becomes too large, causing us distress. Squirrels, for example, don't commit suicide just because they're less skilled at gathering acorns or because they have a less attractive face than other squirrels. Animals don't have delusions and don't evaluate themselves as tasks. That's why they can act freely. We, too, need to shed our illusions and accept ourselves as we are. It's about thinking, "I'm an okay person." By thinking this way and accepting yourself as you are, your self-esteem will actually increase. Don't sacrifice your freedom for money. No matter how much money you have, you'll always feel like you don't have enough. Sacrificing your freedom for money will prevent you from ever being truly free. Do you really need that much money? Try working just enough to maintain your current lifestyle. You won't need to work more than necessary. Instead of saving for an uncertain future, earn money for the sake of your current freedom and continue living that way until the end. Making freedom your goal will make life much easier.